So, in response to the email I received, I am going to give a brief introduction on myself, and then I'm going to answer a series of questions that I was given for the uh, application process. So, to start, my name is Zachary Weldon. I am a cybersecurity major at Middle Georgia State University. I live in Byron, Georgia, which I know is a little far away from the Florida location of the on-site business. I am a year away from graduating. I graduate in spring 26, and I'm currently working on both my degree and CompTIA Security Plus certification. Let's get into some of these test questions. Let's see. Have you ever had any internship in the past related to technical support? So I have not had an internship in the past, but my current job, I work at a rehab clinic, and I deal with a lot of their IT related activities there, such as troubleshooting hardware or software to ensure that the employees can work and use their materials properly to help patients, as well as troubleshooting any issues with patient data and ensuring that the confidentiality of patient data is kept up with according to HIPAA guidelines. What is the primary role of technical support? Well, I kind of touched on it. My primary role there was ensuring that patients got data was kept confidential and that networking or software and hardware was configured properly and didn't have any issues. I also dabbled with their networking systems when we were having and troubleshooted some of the networking problems in the building at one time. So I'm pretty all around familiar with at least some portion of um, their network or topography. How did you ensure the integrity and security of the data? So, working at a rehab clinic, you deal with HIPAA guidelines. So, when we're talking about HIPAA, we deal with confidentiality of patient information. Um, Ensuring data is, not just laid out in the open. If people print off paper copies of something, ensuring that there's a paper trail to them, and what they printed off, and ensuring that the paper is not kept out in a spot where unauthorized users have access. Other than that, ensuring that people connected to networks properly and that they weren't connecting to random networks within a nearby area mistakenly. So that way we ensure that the confidentiality of patients' information is kept and that people aren't connecting to different networks and providing backdoors for any kind of threats. Let's see. Which technical support tools do you have experience with and how have you utilized them in your past projects? It would probably be good to start off with virtual machines. So I have used multiple different types of virtual machines using both VMware Workstation and VirtualBox. I have a personal preference for VirtualBox, but either one of them work pretty well for an application. I've used Windows Server and I configured DHCP DNS servers on Windows Server. I configured log entry rules and certificate grants. Certificate granting systems for users. And we also worked with different user assignments and ensuring that privileges are being handled properly and that there's not an accidental privilege escalation from a lack of oversight. In Linux, I have been working on users and the same general process. We configured a DHCP server for Ubuntu. We configured DNS and used time synchronization to ensure that we all have a uniform timescale across the virtual machines that are talking to each other. I worked with user configurations and write permissions, as well as creating password permissions and log entries to ensure that any unauthorized users or users logging in improperly are recorded and noted, so that way they can be properly monitored in the security aspect. Um, Other skills I possess, I have a good bit of knowledge in data SQL language. I worked with MySQL for a semester and dealt with different database concepts, such with appending data and managing tables to ensure that all data is combined together properly. And then on top of that, me and a couple of friends had started a startup project in which we were designing a database keeping system for near local gas stations, in which they would utilize the database system to ensure that they could monitor lottery feeds at the end of the day when they count down their registers instead of having to do it by hand. We're still currently in the middle of working on that project, but we're starting to kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel and that we're getting close to being finished and having a product to at least rough draft display to people who might be interested. Um, okay. The final skill I wanted to list is I also have done some web development work. I had a whole class on it, but I also worked with outside of class, and that I aided a local business in helping to create a website. We're still trying to finalize some of the details on it. We're still trying to add materials in there so that way they have a very good comprehensive overview of their crafts and their projects. So that way customers have a full idea and a full scale of what this business offers. So helping local businesses, to say the least, is one of my top priorities. Um, are you comfortable working remotely or on a flexible schedule? So yes to both. I mentioned I'm in Byron. I think it's at least 7 or 8 hours away from the on-site location, so I'm pretty comfortable with working remote. I like to think critically and look and seek out information on my own, and it gives me an opportunity to try and at least work out that on my own. And then if I can't understand something, I go to somebody higher up above me and say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. Can you kind of give me a nugget of information to push me forward?" Because it's important, if I don't understand something, I don't want somebody to give me the whole answer, but I would, maybe a little hint or something at least, hey, well, have you checked this here? Because that's how I learn, is I learn by doing. And if I have a problem, somebody explains where I went wrong on a little piece or portion or whatever, and I can kind of pick up the rest from there. Um, as far as on a flexible schedule, yeah, I'm very flexible. A lot of my courses now, because I'm in my upper IT courses, tend to be online only or are offered online, and so I am perfectly fine with a flexible schedule. I'm pretty lenient with my times, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Would you like to work as part time or full time? I am okay with whatever work is available. I am not picky about work. I prefer to do whatever I need to better myself because at the end of the day, I look at these internships or these job opportunities as opportunities to learn. I'm trying to develop my skills and I want skills to help set me apart from other people and make me stand out in the crowd. So, with that being said, either full time or part time is beneficial to me because I still learn. No matter how we approach it, I'm learning something. Um, Paid weekly or biweekly? Biweekly is fine, and by extension, by direct deposit is preferable because then it's easier on both sides. Why should we hire you for the technical support intern position? This is a really good question. I know that comes up that this question comes up a lot in many different interviews, and so I believe that the best way to approach answering this question is to say that I love to learn. To me, learning is a very important part of development as a person. You can gain knowledge all day long, but when you learn something like this and you take it and apply it, you gain wisdom. Wisdom is a very important thing to me because when you build that repertoire of skills, you're able to pass that wisdom down to other people. So you become an impact. You benefit your local community by knowing something and by performing a service, then you benefit your local community by giving back to them and offering them, the knowledge that you've possessed over a period of time. Not only that, but I like to make the people that I work for and represent look good. If you guys, if something, were to come up and you guys need, pick me, I'm looking to make sure to do everything in my power to make you guys look good because that's what's important is we represent the company. And since we're the face of the company, we're responsible for making sure that they are doing well and that they are being presented to the public in a respectable manner that makes the public want to utilize their service. Have you been authorized by CPT, OPT to work at this time in the United States? So I looked that up online, and as far as I could tell, that was an international visa, and I'm natural born citizen, so I don't think that applies to me. So as far as I can tell from that question, I'm pretty sure I'm good. And then the last question, if you were to be hired now by the company, when would you like to join? As soon as you guys have me, I'm ready to go and I'm always ready to work on try something new. I've developed the mentality and mindset, the growth mindset of trying something new. And so I'm always ready to try something new and different because it's a learning opportunity. That's what these internships and really anything in life is a learning opportunity. It's a way to better yourself and to come out of something stronger and more knowledgeable than you were before. So to me, in my mind, this is a great opportunity and I'm ready to jump on it whenever you guys are, if something were to come up from it. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for pulling me from the candidates, and I hope to hear back from you guys soon. Thanks.